Having that. But I got this one.
Hey, terrorists! Terrorize this.
Moot point, an issue which no satisfactory answer is found.
This is all a moot point.
The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! Ma, the meatloaf!
Like a cow's opinion.
I've had it with this dump! Got no food, got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
This is all a moot point. Doesn't matter.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Moot Points podcast. Coming in a little hot right there. Good God.
Yeah, real
Microphone
hot.
level's a little down.
Real hot. My headphones are way down, so I didn't even hear you.
Mine are at the normal level, but I came in just scorching hot. Thanks for listening, everybody. The Moot Points podcast. I am Brian Moote. With me, as always, Patrick Moote.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Today we got a fun show. We're gonna debut a new segment called Snobby Movie Reviews from Patrick because he is a self-proclaimed movie snob.
You know what's great about being a self-proclaimed movie snob? I know how I feel about everything.
Yeah,
I hate it. I already hate it. I hate it all.
As a movie snob, though, do you have to hate all of it, or is it okay if you like
as
some
a movie
things?
snob, the whole idea behind being a movie snob is that, like, when Get Out came out, it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I went into it thinking, perfect movie, huh? Doubt it. And went in there and I found a bunch of problems with it.
What? What's wrong with Get Out?
There's just nothing subtle about it. Like, I think it's a well-written script. I think it's a well-directed movie. I like how he took the genre of a horror thriller and made it more digestible for wider, broader audiences. But I will say the aspects of racism were not very subtle.
No, well, not. The whole thing was
beat
about
you over the head with
it's
it.
a slave auction.
Yeah, no, I get
point.
it. I
Okay.
get the metaphor.
There's no
Pretty on the nose.
It's not a metaphor. It's literally a slave auction. A metaphor would be if they used the premise of slavery and a slave auction and changed the entire premise to, like, maybe the future or subtle.
That's kind of
or
what
people
they
working
did.
for the man. Well, kind of, but it was like
That's what I'm saying. It just wasn't
like-
subtle.
also yeah,
Could have been more subtle. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
I mean, I don't know. I thought
That
it
said,
was,
I give it a 9 out of 10.
oh, what the hell is that?
But I hate it.
the hell's that? Garbage?
Okay, maybe not 9 out of 10. 9 out of 100.
We're also going to talk about Patrick's. He's currently on a poop embargo.
All backed up. All backed
That's why
up.
you're so salty right now.
Ugh.
This is what you need. You need this in your life.
Do that splashing one. That's what I need in my life.
That's funny.
That is what I need.
We're going to talk about that. We're also going to, I don't know. We'll just meander and we'll see where this thing goes. I am currently barefoot in the Amp Radio studios, and I'm also going Commando, which
It's disgusting.
is very uncomfortable.
Somehow me being constipated is less gross.
I don't think it's gross. I just think it feels awkward. I'm not a big Commando guy. I don't know. Have you ever met those guys? They go to the beach a lot and they surf and they look, I don't wear any underwear, man. I'm like, what? How? Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Listen, McConaughey.
Yeah, underwear is to protect your pants from your body.
I mean,
junk is gross.
Wearing jeans with a penis and no underwear in between is very uncomfortable. The zipper is right there.
Oh yeah, that was uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is old
It's like
age.
a saw.
I don't know if this is old age or not, but I for some reason, I'm not sure what's happening, but I find myself forgetting to zip up my fly a good 2 or 3 times a day when I use the bathroom.
I do that so often lately. I don't know how it happens. And I thought it was just these pants that I got. I got 2 pairs of pants from Express. And I thought maybe it was the pants. Like I had Rogue Fly, like the fly
like
went
the little
rogue.
fly lock didn't lock into the
Yeah, and
teeth.
it just keeps going down. But it's both pairs of pants, and I'm realizing that it's definitely user error.
I've had that too. I'm wildly uncomfortable right now because I think my testicles are sticking to my legs.
He is actually like he's
It's
got his
weird.
legs like
I don't
spread, and
like
he's
it.
kind of rocking back and forth.
Well, I toyed with the idea of wearing sweaty boxer shorts.
I can't do that, though.
And I ruled out the socks immediately. So I have no socks and I have no underwear. And that's what makes me mad about today is that I totally this morning, when I was packing my bag for the day, it's 3:00 in the afternoon right now while we're taping this. And I left my house at 4:45. So I have been gone all day. I went to the gym. I, for some reason, had planned on just going straight home from the gym, not even showering. I'm not the biggest fan of showering at the gym. I'll do it, and the gym I go to has got a pretty nice
It's
shower.
got nice showers, though,
and they're
right?
all individual.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ugh.
does anyone even use those
Dude,
cattle call showers?
The shower
anymore?
at mine is, I was going to say cattle call. I tried to shower in there once, and this dude was doing stuff and staring right at me. Like, staring me right in the eye. He wasn't, like, doing something so gross, but he was definitely, like, messing around with things that
Oh, you mean he was playing with his junk?
Yeah, he was, like, washing his...
Like, way too much
way
attention
too hard.
to the wash.
Yes. And staring right at me. And I just, a water hit me in the face. I looked over, and I was like, I am out. Just pieced out. I couldn't do it.
I feel like those showers don't exist anymore. I haven't been to a gym that had those showers since college. In college, we had those gyms in the basketball locker room, and I'd never use that shower. I'd go home and you don't have a good shower anyway.
No, has anybody ever walked out of one of those showers and been like, wow, I feel much cleaner than I did when I was before I was in that disgusting trough of bacteria.
One, it comes out like a pressure washer that's taking sand off a wall. You're exfoliating everything. I mean, I've had those showers when I've had to take a shower in those big old things. Like maybe it was a basketball game in college where we were on the road, and then after that we were going straight out to some bars, and so I didn't have time to go home. But I'd always err on the side of going home. Home games are always better than road games in every bathroom situation.
Sure.
There's never been a time where anyone in the world has opted for public bathroom awkward situation over private bathroom. But I've had one where I've turned the shower on, and that jet stream of water has hit me right in the junk, and I thought it was gonna. Yeah, well, I thought it was like injured, like for real, like not good.
I honestly, I would take a car wash, like riding in the bed of a truck through a car wash, than getting in one of those things, because it's the same thing. They blast you with the same water pressure things. You're getting washed like a car in those places.
Those probably would actually be a lot. They seem like they'd be a lot more fun, like the whole experience.
Yeah, sure. They dry you off too.
Those big soft brushes.
Yeah, you're like.
So I'm uncomfortable, and there's no way. See, here's the thing. Once the stuff gets cold, so I took off my underwear and socks and went and took a shower. And I'm the guy. Oh, this guy drives me crazy. This person, the person who doesn't wrap a towel around themselves at the gym, dude. Wrap a towel around your waist. What are you doing?
I know.
The guy who, and I don't care if you're proud of your junk.
Who cares?
That's not what it's about. Just don't hold the towel on your waist. Be a decent human being. Wrap the towel around. Show that you respect everyone else in there. We don't need your junk flailing around all wild. So wrap the towel around. I even put a towel up top, like around my shoulders, and I go take a shower. But after that point, there is no option for putting on clammy, wet socks and underwear. And I'm mad at myself because this morning I thought to myself, why don't you just throw underwear and socks in your gym bag anyway? You'll always have an extra pair, because I never know when, the day's going to run long and you and I are going to tape the podcast and I don't have time to go home. So don't have time to go home. And now I'm frustrated that I'm now sitting in here and I don't like my legs touching my junk.
You're making me uncomfortable.
It's weird.
Now I'm realizing my junk stuck to my leg, and
that's why I don't understand people who wear those big, the baggy, weird boxer shorts. Like the ones that had like the smiley face on the butt or something,
or Santa
smiley.
Claus doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if they're holiday oriented, and you wear them as like a joke on
ones
Christmas
that
morning.
aren't, or even just like those old flannel ones that are just they look like tiny shorts.
I mean, those are basically invented by women to steal from men when they stay.
I was
going to
say I don't mind seeing them on a girl. I think
they look great.
Yeah, it's hot.
Look cute on them.
But on a dude, it's like, what are you, 12? What is this? That whole thing is over. That fad is over. It was no good. All they do is bunch up.
Mm-hmm.
They're all thin. They got no support.
Well, you know what killed those baggy boxer shorts was when pants got tight again, like the skinny jeans. Skinny jeans killed the baggy boxer, and they're coming close to killing the boxer brief, because if you're wearing super tight jeans that are tight on your thighs, you can see the line on the underwear. You almost got to go banana hammock when you go super tight jeans, which and you're a skinny jean wearer. Like, what underwear do you wear?
I wear like tight boxer briefs.
Though to be in full,
I don't have like straight briefs. I can't do it.
In full disclosure, I would peg you as a 50-50, sometimes go without underwear guy. Because you have like that, because you can pull off any fashion. Like right now you have an unbuttoned denim shirt with a striped shirt underneath.
Yeah.
and you've got
Both
the
blue.
sleeves folded up, and it's just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that's how you look.
I've got a beanie in the car that I'm gonna wear because
Right,
it makes
of
me look like a
course.
longshoreman, and I think that's a good look for me right now.
And you've got the beard that screams, "Hey, I don't care about my beard," but
Yeah.
you clearly have trimmed it up a little bit because it's not. The
Yeah.
neck looks okay, and it's not protruding over your lip into your mouth, which is something that no one tells you when you're growing a mustache. Is you gotta wrangle that sucker at the top lip. You can't have that thing dipping.
Either
in
that, or
food.
you got to start twisting immediately and start just getting it up there and out. That's the only way to do it.
So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But I feel like I'm running into a problem lately. I feel like, and this will kind of we'll talk about something. I started feuding with the Daily Mail. It was a pretty one-way feud. They never really replied to me, but I think I got people whipped into a frenzy, and I may deal with the fallout later. But I really don't care. For the last 4 months or something, I'd say once a month, I'm tired. I feel overworked. I've had a little too much to drink. And I decide to stop being a punching bag or really voice how I feel on social media. And I think it's a shock because a lot of people don't expect me to do that because usually I'm like, jokey joke, here's a funny picture, here's this funny, hey, I got a show. But I feel like lately it just, it happened when I went on, I can name them right now, my little tirades that I go on. And then the next day, I'm very two-faced in this situation. Not two-faced, two sides of me where I'm frustrated, I've had a little bit to drink, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to speak my mind. Then the next day I look at it, I'm like, that's pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't really need it. And I have a problem with checking notifications all day long if I leave something up on social media that I don't want to defend all day long, because I get very stubborn about that. So I tend to delete a lot of things on social media, which some people say don't do. But for me, I used to be that guy who
What do
says,
you mean, don't do?
don't delete.
I delete tons of stuff all the time.
Well, what I'm saying is I used to be that guy who's like, hey, stand by what you think.
Sure.
Stand by, when I ripped James Corden for being just a weak excuse for a host in today's climate where we, I just kind of hope, I want our hosts of the shows to just attack, the culture with a little bit more satire, and I just thought he was kind of a weak choice. And I thought he totally stomped over a couple good moments in the award show. I can't remember which one it was.
He's so safe.
And he's British, and they get on my nerves.
Yeah, boo, boo. Get out of here, you like me crumpet munchers.
All right, no, this segment's supposed to be cathartic for me, Pat, not fire me back up. Then
Well,
the next time
you got
was
me fired up too, so I had the same.
Well, hold
feelings
on,
the
hold
next
on,
day
hold
where
on.
I felt bad where I was like,
hold on, we haven't even gotten into my feud with the Daily Mail. The next one that I fired off at was when the media and comedians and everybody went just so soft on Ryan Seacrest. And, I thought his ego got in the way, and I didn't. And mind you, I said all these things on radio. I really did think his ego got in the way. He should have stepped aside. He made the red carpet for the Academy Awards about him.
Made it weird.
And it just wasn't good. It wasn't good.
It'd be like if somebody called you and they're like, hey, your ex-girlfriend's going to be at the party. It's going to be weird. And you're like, I don't care. I'm coming anyways.
Yeah, I didn't do anything
I don't
wrong.
care.
I didn't
So
do
what?
anything.
I didn't do anything, so I'm going.
Yeah, the allegations that he's the sexual harassment allegations and all that stuff with E, that'll all clean itself up. That stuff, that's none of my business right now. Yeah, I have my opinions on it, but really, he's not guilty until proven guilty, right? So I just was more like, dude, it's not, step aside. It's not, you're not admitting guilt. You're just saying, hey, this isn't about me and it's becoming a spectacle about me and I don't like it. And so I'm going to step aside and let people, because you know what? You're a red carpet host. This ain't about you.
No.
It's about the people who win awards.
Yeah.
So step aside. I think
And you haven't been nominated for nothing.
Yeah. And the only get they had on that whole show was Taraji B. Henson, and it was like, did she say something? Did she
and
not?
it was awkward. It was
Right.
awkward.
Of course. So anyways, and I'll be honest, I did feel like radio personalities and comedians went real easy on Seacrest because, let's be honest, he's still a power player. And that's fine. I get it, man. We're in a business. I don't know who hears this. I don't know if they're going to have a problem with me saying it, but I'm just saying I made an observation that I felt like the voices of power who would go full out and make make a special about Cosby and about all these other people. Not that they're equivalent, but they still, if you're gonna hold people accountable for their actions and the allegations, then go
Yeah.
full for it.
And-
Don't cut people slack because they still have power in the career.
Well, and I feel like, and maybe this is just, but maybe this is a wrong observation. I might be wrong. But I would say that people who are good looking get off a lot easier. Like, I mean,
In
Weinstein, it was like, of course he's a monster. Look at him, he's disgusting.
I mean, but
like
also,
Matt Lauer got off. I mean, that guy is like unanimously a creep, and he got off fairly easy.
I mean,
he just
did
kind of
he?
like
Is he still?
lost
He's
his
still
job
out
and
of
just
the-
kind of disappeared. But Seacrest, same thing, where it's like Weinstein's like in another country. Bill Cosby. I mean, obviously it's not.
Well, Weinstein also. There's
They're
some
being
audio of him being
accused
a
of different things.
huge
But
creep.
okay, but even like the president, like hey, just because you're rich, like how is he getting?
I don't even think I used to be the person who thinks it's more looks and things like that, but I think now it's all power. Now it's all power. Once Weinstein was stripped of his power, then people felt comfortable.
Done.
Women felt comfortable coming out,
Yeah.
and people felt comfortable speaking up. That's the whole issue, I think, with the Me Too movement that we're kind of straying from is the fact that these women were silent for so long because of that power structure.
Sure.
Right? So when you have someone like Seacrest, who, I mean, he could be totally innocent, and that's fine. And he has the right to defend himself, okay? But also, these people who
Respect the movement.
well, these people who had the exact same amount of evidence against other people, like comedians and entertainers, were big voices on, that guy, screw his project, screw that, screw
Sure.
all you, and then people going after women like, Meryl Streep, you helped hide the things. And then as soon as it was someone who still had some power, then it's like, oh, now we understand why women were silent for so long, because it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't want to have my career ended. Now, granted, he's on a competing radio station, so I really don't think that's going to be a problem. But also, I'm not the one accused of pressing my boner into my stylist. So you be mad at me if you want, but how about you be mad at the people who were acting inappropriate, whether it was harassment or not? I mean, clearly something happened.
Sure. And I think at this point, like, people who are lying must figure at this point, this is all big deal. Like, people are going to look into it. So if you come out and say that this happened and are going to be adamant and stick
Right.
by it, the voices that we're hearing are probably ones that are telling the truth. 90% of the
Well,
time, I think.
There's always two sides.
Minus
to
Leanne Tweeden, because she's a scum.
Leanne Tweeden, who had the picture of herself getting fake groped by Al Franken in,
But then
in the chopper.
the year before that, she groped Robin Williams. So maybe she created a culture of like, hey, it's a boys' club.
The whole thing is this: there's two sides to every story in that situation, and I feel like
Sure.
I feel like a lot of people have been hard when there wasn't that power dynamic. All right, so I feel like the whole
From going
point-
to Commando to the Me Too movement.
It's because my legs are sweating. No. So I feel like I'm turning over a new leaf of like trying to figure out why I get so frustrated by being a punching bag at times in my personal life. So me and the Daily Mail have a bit of a feud. It's pretty one-sided at this point, but I decided for my own happiness, I would just get over it and block that stupid gossipy publication out of my life. Here's the deal. I don't really want to get into too much of it because really it's something I'm trying to get in my life, trying to move past. But the Daily Mail, every time they do a story about my ex, who is a person of note from the UK, of whatever level you want to call that, she still stop with the sound effects. It sounds like I'm pushing buttons. You're an idiot.
That's a punching bag.
And every time they take an opportunity to take a shot at me because I was inaccurately accused of infidelity while we were separated. And actually, I was not. I was accused of moving on with my life after being separated, going through a divorce, which last time I checked was okay when two people separate and live in different frigging cities in different states on one, different coasts of the country, basically. And then the speculation was, but it may have gone on before. It didn't. I'll just put that to rest right now. And no one ever asked me. All these gossip blogs ran with it. I've maintained that it did not happen, and that was all speculation, even in the wording of the post and the accusation. And it's just poor journalism not to follow up on any sort of story. And yes, I didn't issue a public statement because I didn't want to even discuss the issue at all. I'm not going to dignify that.
I mean, but the errors that were in it were like, it wasn't just...
it's like he lives in L.A.
He
I was
lives in
Atlanta.
L.A. They were living in L.A. and they got this. I mean, stuff that's like so easily Googleable, or just look
Right.
at their Facebook page. So Brian got me fired up, and I started looking up the individual reporters and just blasting them like, we're all so impressed with your journalistic integrity. Wham, wham.
Well, I didn't know you were doing all that.
Burn, burn.
I didn't do all that stuff.
I did it.
Now, I just felt like, you know what? I think that the integrity of this journalism is terrible. It's awful. And I'm sick of being having a shot taken at me every time someone who's moved on with her life and I've moved on with mine does something great. Because what they do is they take, my ex is having a baby, and everyone in that situation be happy. And I'm happy for them, good for them. But I don't need to be brought up one more time in any of your dumb stories on something that's not even accurate. And so I was feeling attacked. And I was tired from a long weekend. And I work a lot. And I went after them on social media. And then I realized, all this is doing is bringing more attention to their god-awful stories. So I want to move on with my life and never acknowledge the Daily Mail ever again as an existence. This is the last time I'll ever mention them in any form or facet, because I'm just not going to mention garbage journalism ever again that can't even look up a Twitter profile to find out what city you live in. So they're the worst.
Did they respond to your email?
No, they did not respond to my email. I've asked them for email. And you know what's funny? I've already decided that if that email comes back to me, I'm just going to delete it. Not even going to read it. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I want them to leave me alone and go away. I want to move on with my life and be happy, even though I'm not wearing any underwear right now and that's bothering me. And be a happy person. I want to be a happier person in 2018. 2017 was a hard year. 2018, that's my year.
Don't get too happy because
I'm not getting dragged back into this.
An erection with no underwear on could be very uncomfortable.
I was sawing on that zipper team.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyways, if any of you have any recommendations, I think I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to do yoga more. And I just vow to never read any of those brutal gossip blogs ever again. Because it's bad for me. Makes me want to defend myself. And to be honest, that's what they want. They want to drag me into some social media fight that takes the spotlight and puts it on them. That's all they want.
I mean, it is interesting, though, that I bet a lot of these people would say that they're journalists and would, got into it because they wanted to, say things and be a news person. But journalism's, under fire right now, under attack. And that's kind of the attitude they go into it with. You can't even Google.
Well, that's the thing about
Google it.
That's the interesting thing about
come on
about the UK in general. I find is that they love salacious news. Man, they don't even care. They're in the rush to put up content. Man, all they want to do is just content machine. And I will say that back when I was married and we'd have a positive story, I was like, woo, yay, look at that. That's kind of neat. Not that I ever cared. It didn't bring me fame and fortune. But then when I realized oh man, they're really going in on me right now on this blog. That's not accurate at all. But I don't want to talk to them about it. I don't want to talk to any of these people because they're not going to take it down. They're not going to issue a correction. They don't care.
Yeah, nobody responded to me. I called out at least for individual reporters.
I'm sure they saw it on Twitter.
And there was other people who commented on it. They just didn't say anything.
I'm moving away from it. You know what? I'm done with them. I'm gonna be a happy person in 2018.
I felt like kind of a jackass though because there was a couple people that I got into it with, and realizing that I had gone hot fire after them when all they had done was ask a question. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's what you think? Why you throwing shade at my family, you chump? Let's go."
No kidding. 2018, happier me. That's what I'm all about. Cool. So there, Daily Mail, you can exist in your sphere and do what you do, and I am moving on.
I, on the other hand, am getting more pissed off, and I need Brawl for a Cause help me fight this guy named Jack Probosoic.
Oh, yeah, let's...
they won't respond
Let's call
to
him
me.
out. Let's call him out right here, Pat.
Come on, Brawl for a Cause. Oh, stomp clap brand.
I feel like you
Brawl
need it right
for
now.
a cause.
I feel like I got you
Time
fired
to go,
up.
Matt Thomas. My brother got punched in the face for you a bunch of times. You need people to fight. You need people who are fired up to fight. And I'm fired up to fight this alt-right weirdo who won't shut his mouth on Twitter, spreading fake news and being a jerk. And I am ready to fight him. I want him in the ring. Me and Jack Probosoic, 2018, punches.
2019.
2019.
2018 just happened, but 2019's open still.
2019, we're doing lunches and punches.
Lunches and punches?
That was the only thing I could think of that rhymed with punch.
How about brunches and punches?
Brunches and punches.
I'd rather do brunch and punch.
That's right. We're doing the brunch and punch. This guy needs to be fought, and I'm ready to do it for you. I'm trying to raise some money. For, a good cause.
I like it, dude.
I don't know what it is.
What, the cause? Do you pick the cause that you want?
All right. Well, it'll be the Jack Probosoic Just Fought Pat Fund. Put his face back together.
Who is this dude? You called him out.
He's just some dude who got retweeted. He just tweets really we'll use salacious again. Salacious.
Inflammatory
things on Twitter, but he's like very conservative, alt-right, former ROTC guy, whatever. I don't really care, but part of it is like calling out some of the Parksville kids for being crisis actors. Like he just says inflammatory things to get a response because
Parkland, by the way.
Park Place.
You said Parkless,
Jungle
Parkview or something like
sorry,
that.
I'm still all sweaty from
I know.
the stomp
You
clap
just
rant.
relax. I couldn't even do a stomp clap rant right now because I don't have any underwear on. It would
that would be tough.
Too much sweat.
Be tough. But he's just, says terrible things. He got retweeted by Donald Trump earlier this year, though.
That'll validate
and
you.
ended up with like 250,000 followers, so now he thinks he's got this great platform to just say whatever he wants and be a chump. I'm calling him out. I want to fight him.
I had the idea once to try to trick Donald Trump into retweeting me, like tweet. But then I was just like, people that I know are gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I don't need any of that. But
Maybe
I
I'll
thought
try.
I had the idea to do like a completely sarcastic tweet about, I don't know, just something he'd tweet. I don't care. I kind of much like the Daily Mail, I've kind of moved on in my life from ripping Trump.
You want to know what might be a good one? I've thought about this. Is do a video like that one where he hit the golf ball and it hit Hillary and she fell over, or like the one where he was doing the WWF thing and he body slams the guy with the CNN logo over his head. I can make one of those real easy.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, find like a tongue-in-cheek one where it's like a Mueller on a witch thing, like hunting witches.
Yeah, like I'd love to, like a Blair Witch Project
witch hunt
scene with Mueller's face. I would just love to do it because that's a big Twitter boost right there, 49 million. But then again, I think I lose them pretty quick when I'm not the alt-right GIF conservative meme site that they were hoping.
Yeah, but I think
I'd be.
the boomerang effect on that for the other side would be pretty staunch as well.
All right, let's lighten it up. We haven't talked about Pat's backup yet. We've got that coming up still on the show.
Oh yeah. I was like, what backup?
Patrick's. Whatever. I don't care. It's more of an interesting thing, and I'm actually a little bit concerned about you. But you know what? Let's do some fancy movie reviews.
Ooh, pretentious, snobby.
Some movie snobbery
reviews.
So, Patrick, what are we reviewing today?
Well, Brian, we're actually going to review some films by Netflix.
You don't have to talk like this.
Netflix originals.
The music is going to be pretentious
Sometimes you like to walk into your house, take a seat on the couch, and flip on a piece of garbage so bad, so terribly bad, it makes you forget how bad your own life is. And it makes you feel better.
Talk normal.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to make it
The
through
Outsider.
these reviews.
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
So explain the premise of The Outsider.
The
and
premise-
who's in it? It's Jared Leto, right?
Jared Leto, yes. Jared Leto is in The Outsider. There's some other notable actors in it, but a lot of Japanese actors, like real talented Japanese actors.
Yeah.
So basically, it's about a guy who's serving in World War II, I think, and gets trapped in Japan and gets stuck there.
I was a bit unclear on the premise because I did watch this movie. Rare will I have seen a movie Pat is going to talk about in snobby movie reviews. But I saw this one and I was very confused. They're doing a bunch of like stereotypically Japanese stuff, chopping off their own fingers and sending them as apologies and things like that.
Yeah.
I found that weird.
And
also,
some
if you're
of
going to
that
be
might
hold
be-
on. Also, if you're going to be a Japanese fighter in a gang, and this, like, you need your fingers, man. You can't be cutting off fingers.
No. I mean, and so here's the thing. The movie's caught a lot of backlash. Basically what happens is this guy's stuck in a prison in Japan. He meets this guy, helps this guy escape. The guy turns out to be Yakuza. And Yakuza is like the biggest,
It's like
Japanese gang.
The gang.
It would be like, the Sicilian mafia in the United States. So Jared Leto, of course, joins the Yakuza and then becomes one of their one of these like Yakuza gangs, and basically becomes like a gangster in Japan. The problem with the movie is that you just never really care about Jared Leto at all.
Right.
You don't care.
That's
And he's not
100%
even
true.
trying to act. He's just looking all grumpy and sad. And I'm telling you what, the guy has turned. I don't know how to say this without it sounding offensive because I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But he looks like he's trying to look like a woman. Like he can't. I dove right in. He can't. It's distracting.
He's looking more feminine.
He's looking more
But
feminine.
it's like-
he looks unhealthy. He looks like he's not trying to act at all.
It's like, you know what it is? He's starting to look more and more like the character he played in Dallas Buyers Club.
I mean, and he kills that movie. And the difference between that movie and this movie is that in this movie, it actively looks like he's not trying. Like, it looks like he's not trying at all. And I think he's a phenomenal actor. But it's just, you just don't really care. So here's, like, in general, society's review of the thing has been that it is racist. That it is ridiculous.
The movie's racist?
Yes, that it is ridiculous because of the way at times they portray the Japanese and the fact
they do.
that the only person who can save these Japanese
is Jared Leto. Well,
a skinny white guy who looks very feminine.
It comes off super racist because they make these Japanese men back in like the 40s or 50s look like all they did was kill each other, kill themselves for honor, cut their own fingers off and mail them to each other as tribute.
Masculine and kind of idiotic.
Yeah, and the women are kind of always hiding in the shadows, and he's got to go broker a deal with the brother to, you know, to be in the sister's life, even though
the
he
whole gang is taken out
up.
and the white guy is the only one who can survive. I mean, I walked out of The Last Samurai because I remember watching The Last Samurai a long time ago. I walked out and I was like, that was a really good movie. That was very interesting. It was like big and fun and things were exploding. And then I sat down with a Japanese friend of mine and they were like, do you want to know why that movie sucks? And it's like, why? They're like, because the only person who can save Japan is Tom Cruise.
Right.
And I was
Cruise.
like, all right. But Netflix has made a couple mistakes this year because also the series Iron Fist.
Who's in that? What is it
Iron
about?
Fist, so it's a Marvel thing, but it's a superhero that's Asian in the comic books, and they cast a white guy.
All right, that's probably not a good
Probably
start.
not a good move. They're just, and that's an original too, so it's like they have complete control of this content, and
Right.
they're just kind of botching it. It's not a good film. It has like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think the only reason people would say they like it is because they're trying to be reverse snobby and say, oh, everyone just doesn't like it because they say it's racist. It's not racist,
Well,
it's good.
people also have a hard time, like purists of the Marvel DC world have trouble liking certain things as, you know, for opposite reasons as people who hate it. So, and you're setting yourself up for snobbery by getting into that world
I
at
didn't
all.
even know that their character originally that the character had been changed, like the race of the character had been changed. Until someone told me, because I was like, Iron Fist isn't that bad. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. And they were like, no, this situation. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Netflix not on fire though, Brian. Another movie out that I just saw that I have to blast.
What is it?
Even if it's quick. Moote with Alexander Skarsgård.
Mute?
Yes. So Moote. It's an original. It's a Netflix original. It's directed by this guy who made the movie Moon with Sam Rockwell.
Mm-hmm.
But the cast is Paul Rudd, Alexander Skarsgård, Justin Theroux. I mean, it's just got like this incredible cast. It was obviously a huge budget because they shot it in Berlin. All this money behind it. It is indecipherable garbage.
What? Like, explain the. You
I
don't
can't
even know?
So these stories about this like Amish kid when he's a kid, he has like damage to his throat. His mom is Amish, so doesn't want to take him to the doctor, so now he can't speak.
Oh, so now that's when he becomes mute.
But yeah, now it's 20, 35 years into the future. It's like the year 2035, and everybody's flying around in weird flying cars, and it looks like cheap Blade Runner. It makes zero sense at all. There's like pedophiles, and like, I mean, they take on every big controversial subject in something that looks like Disneyland on acid. Like, it's so bad.
So what do you give it on your scale?
On my scale?
Yeah, both
I
these
can't
movies
even-
before we
I-
move on. What do you get in both these movies in your snobby movie reviews?
Ooh, in my snobby movie
Your
review scales.
snobometer. What's the snobometer say?
You know what I'd give him? I'd give him one hanky.
One hanky, both
To
of them?
split!
Wow.
One hanky to split, and that's on a
Wow.
10 hanky scale.
Wow.
They each get one hanky, and a hanky is how hard does it make you want to cry for being brilliant. Ha! Push it, you.
Why do you think I'm playing this?
I know why you're playing this. Don't play this, because if I start, I'm going to cramp up and fall over.
Patrick, when was the last time you went to the bathroom?
Like a healthy... I mean, I go to the bathroom all the time. It's just
But wait, when was the
happens.
last time that you had a bowel movement? Because I'm actually concerned
So,
about you right
it's
now.
not that I haven't. I'm like, it's moving. I just have some serious blockage going on somewhere. I have like a stomach full of brown gravel somewhere inside of me. Can't push it, Ryan. If I push too hard, it'll hurt. It'll hurt real bad. It's not good. It's a bad situation. Like I'm constant. I'm gonna take my headphones off so I don't have to listen.
Why?
Because it's making me jealous.
But why
People
do
are
you-
like every time somebody says it, they just went to the bathroom. I'm like, oh yeah, stop bragging.
You definitely haven't told
Sure.
Mom about this yet.
Maybe. I don't tell her stuff because she thinks I'm a hypochondriac. which I am kind of.
Well, yeah, you
But
are.
if I tell her something, she'll just be like, "Oh, grow up, Patrick. There are bigger problems in the world."
But hypochondriacs,
I make mom sound so mean. I love her. She's wonderful.
hypochondriacs don't have data to support their. You have what? You're coming up on a week now.
Yeah, like I think my last real
What have you been taking for this?
Dude, I'm doing it all natural, man.
What does that mean? Like prune juice and stuff?
Prune juice, drinking like a gallon of water a day,
What about
some
X-Lax?
Fiber One bars. See, I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because I don't think that's what the problem is. I think the problem is that I'm just dehydrated. And I happened, what a coincidence, on Friday when I started to become concerned about how little my bowels were moving, I happened to be going to the proctologist anyways for a completely unrelated issue. So I was able to ask
Is that
him.
what a proctologist does?
I mean, I don't know. He's got to be familiar with it somehow. He took a tool and looked up into my butt, so I assume he knows something about the gastrointestinal tract. This is the worst song. The worst song. So, yeah, I don't know. My stomach hurts super bad. If anybody knows anything about how not to
Well, you're
get
gonna be
backed
okay.
up. I'm sure I'll be okay. I'm just so excited about when this actually happens. And if anybody ever says that I'm full of you-know-what, they're not
You're 100%
wrong.
correct.
They are not
Well,
wrong.
The funny part of this whole thing is you brought that up, and then I don't know if you heard that story a while back, but there was the guy in the UK who was arrested on January 17th of suspected of being a drug dealer, and during the high-speed chase, they think he swallowed the drugs. So then they were like, "Well, yeah,
Good move.
joke's on you, buddy. We'll just wait you out until you pass this bag of crack or whatever you had." And he went 47 days.
Yeah, he said, "Joke's back on you."
47 days until the courts in the UK were like, this is like a human rights violation. He's going to die. This guy's clearly going to wait us out until he's dead. I read that not having a bowel movement for that many days it's going to ruin his health. Like, he's going to have health
many
problems
days
for the rest
can
of
you
his life.
go?
I guess, you wait that long, and you may never be able to hold it again once you go. It's just for the rest of your life. It's just going to be
great. God
it's going to be like an open chute.
damn it.
So, I don't know, Pat.
Yeah, stop making me jealous. That's what it's going to sound like.
You better hope.
It's got to be dense as the center of a dark star by now.
Oh,
It's like
God.
a diamond.
Don't get into that. That just sounds
Just
disgusting.
eat coal. What happens when you're... Can your butt make diamonds?
I mean, if it can, you're close.
Oh, I've got to be right there. They're conflict-free.
We don't know about not being blood diamonds, though.
Ah,
Gross.
shots fired.
Disgusting.
Dang it, you got me.
You mean like those kind of shots?
Yep, those are the ones.
All right, thanks for listening to the podcast this week. We're going to have another episode of the podcast. We're taping on Thursday, and it's actually going to be a pilot for a radio show that I'm pitching called The Night Owls, a daily show that we'll be playing at night, 2 hours at night. That's going to happen on Thursday. Hit up the show on Twitter at Patrick Moote and at Moote Points. Take it easy, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so jealous.
Can't get away from it, Pat.
Maybe I should listen to this next time I try and go to the bathroom. I'll put it next to my stomach and hold it there. Come on, guys. Get it, get it, get it. You can do it.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on... No, not that one. Ah, yes, that's the one. You have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is also known as the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Click for more.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.